Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Vibing with Sleezy, the podcast. This is season 4, episode 21, and this is the finale of season 4. I want to thank everybody for riding with me and listening and downloading. It's been an awesome season. I've had tons of great guests. I've done some solo episodes, and the feedback's been incredible. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in and showing love and support. And I just can't thank you all enough. So the finale's here, another season over, and then I'll take a break, and then I'll be back for season 5 in 2024. So my special guest for the finale is none other than my friend and fellow League of Legends fantasy football member, Anthony Guida. How's it going?
Good, Sleaze. How are you?
Doing
Very,
great, man.
very, very glad to be on the podcast. Huge
Thank you,
fan.
bro. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. And it's an honor, man, to have you on. We had met through your brother, Nick Guida. Nick and I went to college together in Nashville, and I met Christian Guida, the youngest, and I also met Anthony, and then I met your other brother as well. So shout out to all the Guidas and your family. And then we all kind of all reconnected at Dino's wedding in San Antonio, and then
Epic.
LOL was being talked about, and shit, now we're all here, and it's been going on for years. It's been fun.
Yeah, very fun. Very fun to be a part of.
And that's what I want to talk to you about. So with fantasy football, everybody, when you play on the Yahoo app, you can see the matchup history, like just your overall, whoever you're playing, you can see their stats and your stats. You have a big track record, man. You've been a champion. You also have played for a number of years. So let's dive into fantasy football. What has fantasy football meant to you?
It's been a good way to follow the sport of football, learn different players. I'm a big analytics guy, so I love fantasy baseball. It's my true to my heart, but fantasy football as well. And it's fun to be fans of players as well as being a fan of an overall team as well. It's always fun to have something to watch for on Sunday.
Did you feel like when you first started playing fantasy football, was it something that um, you got quickly addicted to, or was it something that you felt like it grew on you? What you just, or did you fall in love with it right at first start?
I did. I wasn't very good, but kind of like League of Legends, it was my college like floor. We had our own league, and it kind of brought a little camaraderie and some competitiveness, like during the week, a little bit of trash talking. So that always helps as well. But yeah,
And you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and
yes.
do you feel like when you started out in fantasy, were you a homer, or did you draft a bunch of Steelers, or
Oh
did you
yeah.
spread
Oh
out?
yeah.
Okay.
Heinz Ward, Big Ben, yeah, Plexico Burris, like all of them. Steelers D.
And do you feel like what is your preparation going into a draft? I mean, I'll share with you mine, but like what do you feel like? What do you like to do?
Well, it used to be running back initially. Like that was the go-to, but now there's dynamic receivers and different guys out there, but I kind of let it come to me, especially with the League of Legends drafts. It's like you never know. The two quarterbacks was classic because you never knew what you were going to get. And so it was a lot more like seat of your pants trying to figure it out, what's going on, who's there at that point. But
Yeah. Oh
it's
yeah, the two quarterbacks has been mind blowing, man. It's
yeah.
been it. I'm going to be honest. It has made it such an insane fun league. I mean, the league's a blast as it is because we're all competitive, but it is the two quarterbacks. It's just a game changer. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like you can have a week where you have that great the quarterback just snaps, and then you got that guy that just dropped a dud, and then it meant, dude, you remember when it was like the Lions had the injuries and a couple other teams, and we got third string quarterbacks out there. Like I'm like what is going on? And it's just it's like guys are getting 3 points. It's just
Yeah.
it was insane. And so I like to also go in, especially with League of Legends. I like to go in to just kind of see how the draft goes until my spot, and then I'll kind of look at who's there. And then kind of after that first, second pick, that's kind of how I navigate in. I do a lot of research I grab like them Lindell magazines
Oh
and
yeah.
I'll read those. And then what I'll do is I like to just pretty much go through each like team's roster and I'll highlight who I'm thinking, like maybe the three people. And then if it comes down to it that I'm like, okay, I can't get any of these highlighted guys, that's when I'm fumbling through the pages and trying to figure out who can I snag. So
Yeah, been there.
do you like going rookie?
Mm, no, not really. Running back, maybe. Rookie running back seems to translate the best to the NFL, but receivers, they were taking a few years. Quarterbacks, I mean, unless they can run, probably not. But in the two quarterback league, yes, but in a one quarterback league, I kind of go with the guys that I know and that I like to watch as well.
Have you played fantasy with any of the other LOL members in other leagues besides your brothers?
Um, no, I play in another league with Nick, but no, I don't think anyone else.
How was that league with Nick? Was it did y'all
He's
do
he's
well?
he's won it a couple times. Yeah, I haven't won it yet, but he's won it a couple times.
What did
He
it feel like winning it? What did it feel like winning it for you?
uh it felt good. I mean, just to be able to talk shit to like 12 other, sorry, I don't know if I can curse on here, but
Oh, you're
10
good.
other
Anytime.
at the time it was 10 other guys. So like it was I don't know, it was fun just to, but I feel like I'm like the Pittsburgh Steelers now where it's been a few years and I've been rebuilding, restocking. I'm coming back this year, so I'm excited.
Dude, I seriously I won one year. I won with a group of guys I went to high school with, and we all played. Even my high school basketball coach was in it, which was
Oh,
funny.
that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were having a blast. And I ended up drafting. It was actually the year that Calvin Johnson was still playing, and I drafted Calvin Johnson first round. I got a lot of flack for it, but turned out to be a great pick and ended up winning. Loved it. We actually, a few of us worked at Budweiser at the time, and they took Budweiser aluminum bottles and they built a whole trophy out of it. And then we
Oh
got
my gosh.
like all these um aluminum bottle cans, and we made this huge design. And I swear it was probably almost like shit, I don't know, like close to like 3 to 4 feet tall, and I had it on my like bar at my apartment. And dude, it was such like a conversation piece because people are just like, "What is that?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Fancy
Yeah.
football trophy." So let me tell you about my team. People are like,
Yeah.
"Okay." So, but it was just that it was such a high. And to be honest with you, people laugh like you hear a lot of NFL players like, "I don't give a shit about fantasy," and then you hear a lot of people that don't
Yeah.
play fantasy that are like, what is fantasy? But here's the thing, if you play it and you win it, and even if you play and you don't win it, you feel accomplished, you feel like a real GM, and
Yeah.
it starts becoming pretty real. And
Hmm.
I'm telling you, if you get a passion with it, it can become one of the most fun things ever. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just
It really can.
and LOL's been a blessing, man. I have to just shout all the legends. They know who they are, and hopefully they all tune in. It's just the main thing is it's just this league has been incredible. If you really think about it, we are all from such a wide range of worlds and life. I mean, you got Berg and Miz over in Pittsburgh. You got me in Louisville, Kentucky. Dino's Texas to Detroit, all the other boys out on the West Coast. And it's just,
Yeah.
dude, it's such a cool thing. And it's just like with technology now and with the way like the world is, it's so cool. We're all connected. And then I like how the best thing about our league is like, we're not just a league that just conversates during the football season. We talk every day.
Every day.
And that league of
Waking up to
legends
like
thing is
60 text messages. Like what happened? It's like 6 a.m.
dude, and the
Yeah.
craziest thing, I haven't even met half of them. And I
Yeah.
feel so close to like all of them because we've been doing this for like 5+ years. It's like I still laugh like there's things that Phil has sent me, and me and Keanu, when we did the podcast, and then me and him give each other shit. So it's just been fun. And then what was wild is like Dino and Nick rolling into Louisville, dude. Like that was
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
But dude, they killed me in Madden. It was not
Yeah.
good.
Dino's pretty good. I never like to admit it, but he's actually pretty good. He did peak with Ray Rice and the Ravens in like 2007, but he still has it. He still has it.
he he was all about the Ray Rice show. He still would play with Ray Rice if that guy was an eligible player. And the thing about it that's wild is like we played the random teams and we picked and like I can't give any excuses. Like I played horrible, but it was fun and we there was a couple close games, but yeah, he's good. And Dino's always been a pretty good gamer. We used to have some 2K battles and stuff like that, but Dino, he definitely likes to call himself the Madden God. But
Yeah,
I know that's been debatable between a
yeah.
lot of people.
No, yeah. If I could get a PlayStation, whatever they're on now, I would, and I would love to practice and beat Dino someday. That'd be like a bucket list for me.
Oh, dude, if you beat dude, it would never be ending. And plus, what would be great is if you beat him, you should get a visor.
Oh, it says
That beat
Madden God.
Yeah,
Yeah, it beat Dino. Yeah, there you go.
I love that. I love that. So you're let's dive into baseball. So
Okay.
that's something I want to talk to you about. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not just saying this as a homer because my Reds are hot. This is one of the best baseball seasons ever. Do you not agree?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been good.
It's been so good. And dude, teams are hot. Young guys are playing well. I feel like a lot of past crap is swept under the rug. They've got new fans. They got faster baseball. I feel like LA De La Cruz for the Reds has been amazing.
Amazing.
Shohei Ohtani for your Angels has been amazing. And also too, I love seeing Tatis is back. I know that's a controversial thing, but he's good for baseball. I just love seeing young stars, and I also like seeing these teams that are just not expected playing well. Like the Rays, like that start of the season with the Rays that was unheard of. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
And do you feel like when you played fantasy baseball, I have known a lot of guys that played it. I've never been into it, but um, when you say like you follow the analytics and that, are you enjoying that analytics are really being now forced into the game almost by coaches and players? Do you like that?
I think it helps. I definitely think they can game plan better than they did before, but I don't know, I like old school baseball a lot too. So that's I'm kind of like a purist a little bit but I think the pitch clock has helped, the bigger base has helped. I think they're making good strides in the game, but yeah, for fantasy baseball, it's weird because in fantasy football, like you have a player that plays, say they play all 17 games, they may have a game of 0 and they may have a game of 23 points. Like it's crazy. But like in fantasy baseball, the players who play consistently every single year, you can look back 3, 4, 5 years and have a general idea of what kind of stats they're going to put up. Obviously, if they go to a new team or something like that, but it's not nearly as volatile as fantasy football.
And what I've noticed too about with the baseball thing is like you have players getting called up from AAA in the middle of the season, and you have no idea if they're going to be hot or not. And dude, with Cruz from the Reds, Orioles with all their pickups, it's like I've talked to guys that do play fantasy baseball, and it's like they're loving it. And what I think is great about fantasy baseball is because if you haven't been to a minor league game in a while, minor league baseball is where it's at. It's fun. It's guys really trying, and they keep the game fun, like even at the stadiums and stuff. But it's like if I'm playing fantasy baseball, I'm focused on AAA ball.
Yeah. No, you can see a lot of the teams will have a list of their top players that they have in the minor league ball, but yeah, it's hard. I normally, if there's someone kind of good, I would pick them up and just let them sit on my roster, and then if they're good, they're good. If they're not, they're not. But it is a toss up. But Cruz from the Reds, that guy, he's built like an outside linebacker. I can't even explain it. He's electric to watch.
And he did like what's crazy today, he's in the like worst hitting slump of his career right now. He's like majors. He was 0 for 10 his last 10 at bats. He even had 5 strikeouts. It's unheard of. And
Yeah,
but then it's like he steps up. We're playing the Brewers, who we're competing with in the division for first place. We're literally a game back, and I got to check the score to see if we end up winning. But basically, Cruz ends up catching a ball today at shortstop, a ground ball. It's the fastest recorded out, like assisted out in the StatCast era since 2015. He threw the ball, like he literally runs to the infield, catches it on the grass, launches it, literally like, dude, it's like 100-mile-per-hour line drive to the first base Tabata. And they literally were like, "This is the fastest assist of seriously since we've kept track of that."
Jeez,
And I mean,
that's good that
it's unheard of.
it's good that he's contributing on the field as well, not just hitting it on the bases. But he's so disruptive on the bases that it's like, okay, he walks or something and gets on base. He makes the pitchers nervous. He's stealing bases. Like, I don't know. I just hope he gets a little thicker. He's kind of skinny, but the players like Tatis, Acuna, they're so electric, but they just get kind of dinged up from making like spectacular plays day in and day out. So I think if Cruz can get a little thicker, I think his longevity will be very good.
Acuna is unbelievable. I actually went to that cycle game when Cruz hit the cycle, and it was Reds versus Braves. It
Yeah.
actually went down to a one-run game. I believe the final score was 11-10. The Braves were just hitting bomb after bomb. Matt Olson, who was out in Oakland with the Athletics, comes to Atlanta. He's now leading the National League in home runs. The
Oh
guy's
my
a
God.
monster at first base. And somebody I want to talk about, your hometown, Pittsburgh, the Pirates. So the Pirates got a hot start. They are, of course, one of my rivals in the NL Central. But at the end of the day, I love baseball. I love baseball hats. I just love baseball, watching baseball in general. Of course, I want the Reds to do it all. I'm a big diehard Reds fan, but it's like I love seeing the Pirates hot. Now, I like the Pirates coach. I think it was smart doing the extension. I think he does. I think he is on, like, it's a slow moving train, but he's trying to get it aboard. I like some of the signings they did. And they ended up, bringing back McCutcheon, who was, has been a legend, brought the 2000 hit. So a lot of history brought back and a lot of just them signing the youth. But here's where it's like, I feel like if Cruz for Pittsburgh, the shortstop, was healthy, they would have kept going. When he broke his ankle, he's out. And so
Yeah.
I think what's crazy to really think about, I think Pittsburgh next season when the Pirates come back, not to just keep pushing to the next year for them, if that Cruz guy's healthy and they keep these pieces and with their coach, dude, I think the Pirates are in the right direction. They could end up being a playoff or wild card team.
I hope so. I hope so. They may need to get some free agents, but they don't like spending money too much. But
No,
that
it's
would
that's
be,
the thing about it. They have the most beautiful stadium. Pittsburgh's a great town. There's nothing really super unattractive about it, but it's just the damn owner don't want to spend money.
yeah, it's sad.
You have to now, though. Like
Yeah.
that is that. I know people are like, "Oh, these people are overpaid." Blah blah blah. You have to now. It's the market, TV deals, money, and also it's like talking about Shohei. Something I just heard recently. I don't know if you heard this, but they said, dude, he Trout is the second most paid endorsement player right now in Major League Baseball. He makes $3 million in endorsements off the field, which you're like,
Jeez.
man, that's a lot of money, but you would think maybe that would be a little bit more. But he's the highest baseball player, second. Shohei, 20 million off the field, dude. And that is incredible to think about. And then I started thinking, this Shohei deal where they're gonna have to sign him, whoever's gonna do it. That's 600. That's gonna be almost 600 million plus dollars they're gonna sign this guy for.
Yeah.
But it's almost an investment, dude. It's whoever signs him. I just feel like the international market in Asia and like just Japan and everything are gonna just keep just rocking with this guy, and they're gonna bring
Yeah.
viewership. Like it's gonna be incredible. I mean, the USA Japan game was the most viewed like baseball game in Japan history. Like they're tuned into Otani.
Wow, I did not know that. That's really cool. Yeah, I've been a few games. I've been only one this year, but there is definitely a big fan base just wearing Otani jerseys, cheering for him as soon as he stands up, videotaping it. He's electric. He is a baseball player and he's electric on the field, but the marketing aspect that he brings to the team is, I don't think you can put a price on it at a certain point.
Do you want to? I mean, I know that's you want to keep him, but I'm saying, are you think they need to go all in, Angels?
Oh, absolutely. They have to pay him as a pitcher and a hitter. Like it's the first, probably the first. It's the first of its kind. I mean, everyone references Babe Ruth, but I mean, I don't think that's a fair comparison.
Yeah,
Babe
because it
Ruth
was
was
such a
smoking
different day.
cigarettes, and yeah, big Babe Ruth was smoking cigarettes and then putting it down, chugging a beer, and then going to pitch. Like it's entirely different day.
And Babe was overweight. Babe was had a bunch of stuff off the field. It's like Shohei's got the character. I mean, Shohei's almost. It's like he's like Ichiro on steroids, because
Yeah,
I respected the shit out of Ichiro his whole career. He's one of my favorites. And then to see Shohei do what he's doing, and you just like seeing the class act aspect. And so I have to ask you, when I saw Trout, I actually went to one Angels game when I was out there years ago, and it was just well, Trout and Pujols were both there on the same team, and it gave me chills. Like it was really cool to see those two legends. But what's it like seeing Shohei, man? Is it surreal to think like you're seeing kind of one of the goats?
yeah, it is. I mean, even Trout's great, but like even Shohei has a different even allure than Trout has, and it's felt in the fans. But I don't know. There's a lot. I like sitting in the outfield because you can kind of sit behind Trout, and he's so interactive with the fans, throwing balls to the young kids. Like he's a great role model too. He's a lot quieter, I guess you could say. He just kind of he I was surprised with his endorsement money because I don't really see him on that much, but I guess he has sponsors and does things like that outside of just being on like TV and stuff. But he seems like he keeps his head down. But I think the sky's the limit for Shohei when it comes to endorsements. Like
Yeah,
I I don't even internationally, I can't even imagine what the
because
expansion
you're
he could
getting
do.
the money back. I mean, you're
Yeah,
getting the money back. Like it's like the perfect example. Say you pay him for $40 million a season, and that's what I'm not saying it's probably gonna be higher, but say you pay him $40 million a season. 1 year, you got that money back in return. You might get it back every year. It might
yeah,
literally be where you're paying him for free because you're just getting so much money back as a team. So
yeah,
I almost would think, dude, fuck it, go 1 billion. I mean, it's just
yeah,
I mean, the
yeah,
guy is hot for baseball. And also it brings a big thing for the Reds. Me being a Reds fan, LA De La Cruz is gonna bring big money. And Reds are not very big on spending, but they ended up just signing Hunter Green, who's a hot pitcher. He's going to be huge for us. They ended up trying to, we got Votto still. He's back. We got him for one more year, so we've able to, keep him around for that following year. And then we've signed all these younger guys, Friel, and we've had other rookies. And then Jonathan India has been great. Thank God we hadn't traded him. There was rumors he
yeah,
was going to get traded, but it just everybody's very close on this team. It's a very close knit team, but I just think what we have to do is even after next season, depending on however Cruz's contract goes, we have to sign him big time. Um, I will say this, man. What has been really sad in baseball is the AL Central, dude. It is like the White Sox, Detroit, freaking Kansas City, like
mm-mm.
just all those teams have been poop. Like the Whites, it's just I don't even know what's going on. So
Yeah. I don't. I love the Royals though when they had their World Series team. That team, but yeah, they haven't been good in a long time.
dude, that World Series team was a lot of fun, man. There was so many stars. I think you and the fantasy football group sent a text of the roster for the All Star game
Oh
that
yeah,
year, and it was like every Royal and then one guy starting like second. I think it's like
yeah,
Altuve or some shit. But
yeah,
so you live in Cali, of course. Like people like Phil are Padres fans, and you got a wide range of thing. How does really I know, I mean, I guess, but it's like, how does a Californian really pick their team? Is it mainly Anaheim people picking the Angels and Dodgers fans, or the rest of LA? Or I mean, is Padres just San Diego? Is there Padre fans in LA? I mean, how is this all spread out?
it's Padres in San Diego, kind of Orange County is kind of the Angels, and then LA and the surrounding area are Dodgers fans. But I will say San Diego, very good sports city. A lot of Padres fans. Everyone's wearing Padres gear all the time. We have a Padres flag on the top of our project that we built down there. Like, it's big sports town, but that team. And that's what's crazy. Like, when you look at the Reds versus the Padres, you mentioned how close they are and how well they're playing together. Like, you can't, we were talking about spending money as well. And it's like, can you spend too much money where you get too many stars and they can't play together? And I don't know. But yeah, anyway,
That's a
long
good
story
point.
short.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good
no, I don't
point.
know. I was sorry, that just kind of popped in my head.
No, I
But
like that. That's a great point because that's a fantastic point. Because the whole thing about it is you can go all in, but it's like if players aren't close, it's like it ain't gonna work. I mean, I'll be honest, I heard those negative things about Freddie Freeman from Acuna and people when he left Atlanta. And I know that it's a very Atlanta behind the scenes is similar like the Miami Heat. They're very strict. They have their own way of methods. I mean, it's like the Bobby Cox style. They're old school, and that's fine. And that's clearly they're doing it right down there. But the thing about it is, I think I was worried with Freeman going to LA if he was going to try to take that leadership role where I don't think LA needed that. They're very well coached. And I
yeah,
think it might have been needed in Atlanta with the younger guys. But he's done well. I mean, clearly the LA guys are liking him. And I think the Dodgers also have a lot of guys that seem to have played in other markets and now they're finally finding their thing out there. A kid that actually is celebrated big time in Louisville, where I live, is Will Smith, the catcher for the
oh
Dodgers.
my,
He's
really?
a U of L kid. Yeah, he went to the University of Louisville. When you drive down by Churchill Downs, where the Derby is, the baseball field, Jim Patterson Stadium, is where the U of L plays. Well, there is a banner, and it's actually like shouting out whoever's like won a World Series that's like representing U of L baseball. So there's a picture of like Will Smith there. There's I'm going blank on his name, but the guy who he ended up winning with Atlanta too, but he's up there that played for U of L. So a lot of guys try to come back to show love because with us, we're a very minor league college state and town, but it's like with Louisville Slugger here, we really try to put into baseball, and then plus we have a beautiful minor league stadium. But yeah, it's really cool that they still show love, and then UK baseball, University of Kentucky, they had I believe it was the best year we've had in I don't know 20 years. We were supposed to be this underdog. We ended up making it to the playoffs and we lost to the national champion. But it's just like, man, it was good for Kentucky right now for baseball to be hot.
Who does the minor league team feed to? The pro team?
The Reds. So the
Oh,
bats.
nice.
So what's awesome is when Votto's on rehab, he's in my hometown. I go see him play. When Cruz was playing AAA, I got to go see him. So
Wow.
what's cool about the bats is this. So to kind of give you a perspective of it, they do give away so much. And what minor league I've noticed here recently is they're trying to really give love back to cities and their hometowns. So like in Louisville, we're a big bourbon city and state. So we have when we're not the bats, which are a regular team, we have alternate nights and we're the mashers and we got bourbon barrels and they
Oh
give it
my God.
like
Yeah.
bourbon barrels and we have bourbon flights at the game and like it's a blast. And so then we also have like there's like a Mexican night where we end up changing our logo to like a special Mexico logo, and then we have the throwback night where the Louisville Redbirds when we used to be the St. Louis Cardinals farm team. So they're really really about bringing it back, really about bringing giveaways. But what's great is like I have all these bobbleheads and random figurines from going out there, and it's like Jay Bruce, Todd Frazier, Billy Hamilton, Joey Votto, guys that like you're like, okay, this is cool, minor league guy, and all of them have become something over time.
Yeah.
But that's the one good thing about the Reds. They might not sign a lot of key players, but damn, you'll get a good bobblehead and giveaway.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing.
That's awesome.
So, but it's a good fan experience. I mean, one of the most craziest thing I can remember. Louisville Slugger Field opened about we I think we just celebrated our 20th anniversary a few years back. And Dion was playing for the Red. Deion Sanders actually came down and he played in left field on a rehab and was down here for the bats. Like back when we first got it, I was super young, and it was really cool seeing Deion Sanders play for
Yeah,
the bats, dude. And that's just what's crazy about baseball. It's like Deion Sanders. When you hear about that now, it's like megastar, biggest name ever. Dude's playing left field, man. Like
yeah,
for the
that's
bats.
crazy.
Yeah, so it's just crazy how sports works. Did you get into college baseball?
I did for the World Series.
Oral
Obviously,
Roberts, right?
Oral Roberts was playing in it, so I always try and support them. But their team was very good. But when you see the national championships and the teams that win it, like they're head and shoulders above kind of the consistency that they play with compared to Oral Roberts, where they kind of had some splashes at the end of games to stay alive. But it's always good to be on a national stage like that.
Was Oral Roberts fun to go to from the standpoint? Did it have a really good sports like a lot of the teams? Was there anybody hot during while you're there?
There was, and they went to the NCAA tournament like right when I went there the year before with a guy named Caleb Green, but that was really that, and the baseball team's always good, but surprisingly the track and field team won like quite a few championships. They all had their huge rings on and cocky walking the halls, but you gotta love it though.
Yeah.
Mad respect for them for sure.
You met your wife there, right?
Yeah, she played volleyball. It's a
Oh,
D1 school, so I love to give her props. But yeah, I always hold off that I can beat her in sand volleyball. So she'll never admit it, but either way. So, but yeah, no, we met there, and yeah.
that's awesome, man. Congrats. And what's cool, I was gonna ask, so did you all go to check any other games, like besides volleyball? Did you all go to games together to watch any other
Uh,
sports?
yeah, we went to basketball. Basketball was really good. They had a good fan experience for the students, and then I think we went to a few baseball games, but I didn't. I kind of grew into baseball a little bit later in life where I started to watch it and appreciate it. And the one thing that's cool about watching the College World Series is there's a little bit more mistakes in
Mm-hmm.
the game, but it's kind of like college football where it makes it more electric because it's like in the pros, it almost gets mundane. Okay, shortstop out, second base out, where it's like it's like who knows what's going to happen. So it definitely keeps it fun. I really enjoyed watching it this year.
Yeah, because that dude, when I was watching the SEC ones, like I watched a little bit of the SEC tournament of the guys playing, and it's like drop balls, would change the game. Dude, Kentucky played Indiana, and I thought Indiana was going to end up sweeping Kentucky, and Indiana had just horrible drops, dude. Just shortstop, second base. I was loving it because I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, dude, that's one of our big rivals, Indiana. So I was just like, for us to match with them in the tournament, and I'm like, man, we got to take them down. We got to definitely triumph over these errors. So it's crazy how those can just change up a college baseball game. Did you watch any of the NBA finals? Did you get in the NBA, or are you kind of still just kind of more
no,
baseball football?
I watched some of the NBA. I did. It was good. I like NBA and hockey are one of those things where I kind of watch in the playoffs. There's just such a long season where it's nice to just watch the best teams play each other. But yeah, I did
Who
watch
do
a
you
little
pull for
NBA.
California hockey? Who do you pull out there?
I The Ducks just because of the mighty. I don't know. I don't watch any. I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't really watch any hockey like teams out here. But
Yeah, because the West Coast seems like they have so many teams now. It's like the
it's
San
too
Jose
much.
Sharks and the LA Kings, and I'm trying to think who else all out there. Y'all got
The
there's a couple more teams. Ain't
the Anaheim
there?
Ducks
Anaheim Ducks, yeah.
3. There's one more. I think. I don't know.
What is it? What is
I
the deal with what is the whole deal of Anaheim and LA? Like, is it just because is Anaheim part of L? Like, explain that to me.
Okay, Anaheim's part of Orange County, but it's a larger market similar to LA. It's not quite as big, but that whole Anaheim area, Santa Ana, that area is a pretty decent market in itself. So I think that's why they keep trying to force teams down here. But if as long as people are going to the games and they're making money and the product's good, that's kind of what they're going for.
Are you a person which you have been to Oakland? Do you think the A's should stay, or you're like, man, I think they should go to Vegas?
I think they should go to Vegas. I I feel like the city of Oakland was once a beautiful city, but it's kind of not where it should be right now, in my personal opinion. But what Vegas is doing for the Raiders and what they can bring for like a fan experience, I think it's head and shoulders above what Oakland can offer. Personally, this is my personal opinion, but I
Yeah.
think it's definitely a great experience.
I love that they're doing a protest and they're trying to get to get them to stay, some of these Oakland fans and stuff. But it's sad, the whole situation in general. But it's just a wake up call where, like you said, cities change, and um it it's money talks, man. I mean, that's just
Yeah,
kind of pretty much where it's at. And uh I would have loved to see it keep expanding and maybe stay there and they get a new stadium there. But what I've read about Oakland, I don't think it's where sports can be. Everybody's moved to San Francisco area, and I think it's just you got to realize it's like some cities don't need it anymore, some cities do, and man, dude, it's crazy how cities change so quickly within
yeah.
so many years. Um, I will say this too. It's that they want to really try to get a pro team here in Kentucky. They want an NBA team here in Louisville. We actually have a whole organization. I think it's like a nonprofit that's bring the NBA to the Lou. We had the Kentucky Colonels here, part of the ABA, so we had a huge history, and everybody would love to have the Colonels back. I mean, a lot of U of L UK guys played there, and the Colonels were hot. They won some championships, but the ABA went away, or some teams went to the NBA. Like Cincinnati had an ABA team, and it's like it's crazy. A lot of these guys that played, like Julius Erving, he probably would have been a bigger NBA star, but he spent most of his career in the ABA. So it's just crazy how all these different leagues and stuff. But if we had the NBA here, I would be pumped. It would be
They
dope.
they need to name them the Colonels. That's a great name. They
Yeah,
need to keep that name for sure.
dude, the Colonels is an amazing name, and I love the whole Colonel aspect, and it's just a lifestyle here, dude. It's that Kentucky lifestyle. So, what do you so let's talk about we got into all the sports talk and stuff like that, but we have to dive into the NFL. So I did a two-part series here as a solo episode. I did my predictions. I did say Detroit versus Cincy for the Super Bowl. I called Cincy LA when that happened. Now, I did not call last year. I was wrong. But I will say this. I just believe this year it can happen. I know it could be a long shot, but how do you think both conferences play out?
For the record, you got Austin pretty fired up with that episode. He was letting me have it last night. So the Bills did not get as much love as I think he would have appreciated. But
Did not get much. No, they didn't.
no, this is gonna sound very basic, but like for the most part, the good teams will be good and the bad teams will be bad. I don't know. I obviously love the Chiefs. I mean, I don't think you can find a better team than them right now. As much as I hate to say it, the Bengals. I think bringing Joe Mixon back was huge. That was,
Yeah,
I
we need
mean, that was a great signing. You guys always have like stud receivers. Our division is so much fun to watch. I love every game. For me personally, because I've been watching it my whole life, but it's just something like any other division where like every game in the division seems like it's a rivalry and it's a blast. But I don't know. I don't think the Raiders will see with Jimmy G. I don't know. I think a lot of the same teams, the Chargers, I think will be the Chargers, which I have a weird belief that certain teams are just kind of snake bitten and they just can't get over that hump. The nice thing to see is Dan Campbell for the Lions seem to have changed that culture quite a bit where they're believing in themselves again. And that's the one thing that can kind of get your team turned around as compared to like the Browns or the Chargers or certain teams that just can never. I mean, the Falcons at a certain point, like teams that just can't get over that. They're kind of good, but then they're not good type of
Oh, and when you get a
threshold.
city behind you like Dan Campbell
Yeah.
did, I mean, Detroit is rocking with that guy hard, and Hard Knocks can be a blessing or a curse. And it was
Yeah.
huge for Dan Campbell. Like, it didn't really help us in Cincinnati when we had Hard Knocks. It was entertaining, and Ocho Cinco was fun on there, but you had a lot of guys that didn't want the camera on them, and it just wasn't. It didn't get as much hype around the team. And I'm not saying that I can't answer that for all the other teams, but I can just see what it did in Detroit, just going up there and everybody's backing them. Um, I will say this though. I think besides our division, I will be definitely watching that NFC North and just to see how it plays out. But I'm curious, man. I'm curious about that AFC, man. With the Dolphins, with the Bills, with the Jets, with the Pats. I mean, I think Pats are fourth, but I mean, who do you think pulls out of that, dude?
Hmm. I think the Bills will be good. I think the Dolphins will be good, but I think the Dolphins kind of played in comparison to Oral Roberts, I guess you could say, in the national championship for baseball, where they kind of seem to catch some breaks where you don't catch those breaks and your season doesn't look like it was. I still stand behind that. If Kenny was anywhere near Kenny was at the end of the season, we would have mopped the floor with the Dolphins when we played them. But we got to look forward to next season. We're on to 2023.
It's going to be a great year, man. I'm
Yeah.
so excited, and I think we're all gonna have a lot of fun this year. I think too, all of our teams are competitive.
Yeah. Oh,
I,
D Hop to the Titans. That's gonna
breaking
be
news
huge.
today. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's gonna be huge.
That is huge, dude. Vrabel knew about it a day before, and D Hop's there, and I made some jokes about it in the fantasy group about billboards. Well, I got to tell this quick story. In Nashville, when Randy Moss signed for that 8-game stint he played for the
Oh my
Titans,
God.
dude, I'm living in Nashville. I'm pumped Moss is there. I love Randy Moss. I went to a Vikings game when he played for the Colts. Like, loved Moss, huge fan. I'm driving and I'm like, holy shit, there's a billboard for Moss. It was like an hour after, and it was like literally everywhere I went, it's like Randy Moss is here, Randy Moss. And he only played 8 games and, really wasn't huge for the Titans, but it was just crazy that somebody backed him. So I think D Hop will be good for that culture down there. Tennessee needs stars. Like they're going to be building a new stadium here in a few years. That'll be like a concert slash sports venue for the football. It's going to be huge. Nashville's growing. Nashville just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So they have to also build that team to get bigger and bigger. So I think it's going to be huge. And yeah, that happened today on July 16th. So if you're listening to this episode, it's a few days after, but yeah, that was the breaking news. D Hop to the Titans, man, and big contract too. 2 years guaranteed money. Whew.
I was surprised.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, there was a lot of people hating and stuff, so it's crazy. But dude, it's been a total blast having you on the show. I wanted to have you on because we always talk great sports, and I love having fellow LOL legends on the chat, and I'm hopefully gonna have a few more here in the next season. Definitely gotta get your brother Nicky Lou on here.
Oh,
I know he would be
absolutely. Absolutely.
he would be hilarious. So, and he'd be a lot of fun. So, I want you before we do sign off and I do my big shout off for the finale. How can people reach out to you if they want to talk about
I have zero, almost zero social media. Snapchat, Anthony Guida on Snapchat. That's where I'm at. Hit
Okay,
me up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Show
It's
them some love. I give everybody the out
appreciate that.
to give a shout out because people reach out and it's all about connecting. So I can't thank you enough for being on the show. So thank you to Anthony. I want to thank everybody again for listening to season 4. It's been an incredible season. It has been a total blast. I keep thinking this show just keeps getting better and better and it keeps improving. So I can't thank everybody enough for the support and love. Vibing with Sleezy, the podcast t-shirts are at What Makes You Smile Gallery and Gifts on Bonnycastle Road in the Highlands, $25, small through 2X. Go get one. Riley will hook you up. The shirts are there, so that helps me out. And if you want a shirt, just reach out. Also, vibingwithsleazy.com is the website. I'll be connecting with AJ hopefully here during my break between seasons to get season 4 up there. So if you want to listen to the past few seasons, go check that out. But Vibing with Sleazy, the podcast, Facebook, Instagram, vibingwithsleazy@gmail.com. Reach out, show love. But again, thank you all for everything. This has been season 4. This is the official finale. On to season 5 next year. Peace.